Bonjour et bienvenue.
Ah, tu vois comme tout se mêle, les deux cœurs à tes lèvres, je deviens un casse-tête.
Welcome back to Français 1B, and today for your study guide, we'll start on page 6, and you'll see that it's classroom vocabulary. So I'll start here by saying each word a couple times, and you can pause at any time to record in your study guide the English equivalent. So here I go. Les matières, matières. Les langues, langues. Le français, français. L'anglais, anglais. L'espagnol, espagnol. L'allemand, allemand. Le chinois, chinois. Les arts plastiques, les maths, maths. Les sciences, sciences. La biologie, biologie. La physique, physique. La chimie, chimie. La musique, musique. L'éducation physique et sportive, éducation physique et sportive. Informatique, l'informatique. Histoire, l'histoire. L'algèbre, algèbre. La géométrie, géométrie. La littérature, littérature. La menuiserie, menuiserie. La mécanique, mécanique. And again, you can pause before you head to the next page. Page 6. This deals with how we talk about what classes we like. How do you do in them? What are the teachers like? So there are some phrases that you'll complete with other terms. The first phrase is mon cours de est. So in that blank, you put a class, like French class, history, algebra. You don't have to put anything in front of it. You just write français, histoire. And then here in this blank, you're going to be writing an adjective. And you haven't learned any of those yet, but those will be coming in future pages for this lesson. I chose the word facile. So the sentence I created is mon cours de français est facile. My French course is easy. And the word order is different. My, and then they have the word course come next, where we have the word French. So you see how that is my course of French is easy, is how it's said in French. Now we're going to talk about how we perform in different subject areas. Je suis nul. That means I'm bad at something. I'm not good at it. Maybe I'm not highly skilled. Like I'm not great at classes that deal with numbers. So I'd say I'm kind of bad at that. And we have a masculine spelling of nul and the feminine spelling of nul. So since I'm feminine, I would say je suis nul en algèbre. And you just put whatever class you want right afterward. So if you're masculine and you want to say that you're bad at Spanish, you'd say je suis nul en espagnol. This is the opposite of something that you're good at. So je suis doué en, doué en. And spelling is almost the same for masculine and feminine. Feminine adds an E, but you won't hear it. It's doué and doué. And let's say I'm good at French. I'd say je suis doué en français. You just add the classes where these dots are. Now, what if you want to ask how the teacher is or what someone is like in your class? You say il est comment? Il est comment? Elle est comment? Elle est comment? And that means how is it, or how is he, how is it, how is she. So a feminine class, you'd ask this way, a masculine class, or a person. You can pause again and take these notes down. Page 8. This is where the grammar for the lesson comes in. Now this is some important stuff that will take you through all of your French classes forever and ever and ever. They're adjectives. So adjectives describe nouns, people, places, and things. And there's a lot going on with adjectives in French. So let's do the meaning first. So I'll say them while you think about the meaning. We have facile, difficile, drôle, énergique, intéressant, intelligent, grand, petit, bon, mauvais, beau, joli. Now, why is there a left hand and a right hand here? These are the masculine spellings of the adjectives. In French, adjectives are spelled according to who or what they're describing. So if you have a masculine singular thing, you would spell it as a base word here. If it's a plural thing, then you add a S. Words that end in S's already don't get another one. And sometimes you add an X, which is unusual but does happen. If you're describing something that's feminine, you use these spellings. And sometimes there's no spelling difference at all. The first four are like that. Often we add an E, which happens with these. This one we add an NE. That happens with ON adjectives and AN. And then here we are back to just adding an E. And then we have irregular adjectives. And you won't learn a ton of these, but beau and belle are highly irregular because that spelling is different than that one. And then jolie just gets the E again. So you need to notice that. And you'll be practicing that in your blue packet. If you're asked to spell it according to gender and number, look here. And it shows you masculine, add S's for plural, feminine, add S's for plural. Now, in terms of sound differences, they sound different sometimes when they're spelled different. So intéressant, intéressante. We hear the T because of the E. Intelligent, intelligente. Grand, grande. Petit, petite. Bon, bonne. Mauvais, mauvaise. Beau, belle. Those are the ones that sound differently. But jolie sounds like jolie. Sometimes there's no sound change at all. So there's a reminder here on the bottom of what's going on with spelling. Add an E for feminine most of the time, unless it already ends in an E. ON or EN. Um, oh, that's actually incorrect. I'm going to cross that out. It's actually add an NE is the answer here. You add the NE to the ON or the EN. So you're going to end up doubling the N like right here. And then for the plurals of the masculine down here. But this part doesn't work for everyone. Try reading through it in its entirety. It explains what's going on here with spelling. Now, the other thing going on this page that you need to write has to do with something we call placement. So adjectives, you need to know how to spell them, but you also need to know where to place them. So draw a nice little line in the center here, because the adjectives that are above this line, they go after the noun in French. So you'll actually be saying something like this: the girl funny is laughing. You're going to feel like you're speaking inside out. This is how most adjectives in French work. The bottom ones, the ones that are below the line, they go before the noun. The pretty girl is laughing. This is just like English. We like these. They're easier for us to translate with. But there aren't a lot of them. These are the exception in French. So some smart person a long time ago came up with an acronym that helps us remember which ones go before and which go after. And the acronym is BANGS, just like with hair, BANGS. So if you could add that, I'll explain that later. And just note that above go after, below go before. These are easier because they're like us. These are how most of the French are, and they're different. So that's part of the lesson. You can pause and write some of this down. Excuse me. The next page is a really, really, really important verb. And you've seen a lot of it before, but you're finally being officially taught. It's the verb être, and it means to be. And it is very irregular. It's an RE verb that is an irregular RE verb, and you have to memorize it. It is so important. It's used all the time. It's used to make other tenses. So, être becomes suis, and suis is pronounced suis. That's why I have that there. On the to form, it's a, pronounced a. In il, elle, it's a, pronounced a. Som in the new form. Et in the vous form. Sont in il, elle, plural. So you've seen suis, a, sont. You've seen et a little bit. You haven't seen some a bunch. So people wonder, what do these individual words mean? Well, suis is am, a is are, a is, some is are, et is are, and sont are. So really, really important. Memorize these, make flashcards, do whatever you can do to know these, because they're going to be used a ton. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. Super duper important. Pause, make notes, make flashcards, learn this verb. You will use it so much in French 2 and throughout French 1. The last page, page 10, page 10, has to do with that BANGS acronym I talked about with adjectives. So this is about placement of adjectives. Where do they go? And you can read this on your own time. But here's that BANGS acronym that I talked about. The B in BANG stands for beauty. A is age, N is number, G is good or bad, and S is size. Now what happens for us English speakers is we have to remember which adjectives in French go before. Bangs goes before, just like in English. These are easier for us to use. So adjectives of beauty, like beautiful, handsome, and pretty, those go before. Age, you haven't learned it, so you don't have to deal with that. Numbers, you've already done, you're not going to struggle with that. The word good and bad, those go before. And then tall or big and small, those go before. So not many that you've learned. So to help you understand what's going on here, I have an example down here I'd like you to write out and think about because you're going to be translating a bunch. So let's say we translate this one. The exam easy or the test easy is how the French write it. We don't write it that way. When you're translating it, you would write it the English way. The easy test. Easy in French went after because it's not beauty, age, number, good, bad, or size. Easy is like most French adjectives. So the word order between languages is different. The big notebook. The big notebook. That one is the exact same word order in both languages. We'd say that's the same. Now, big happens to be size from our Bangs list. The teacher energetic, the energetic teacher. We are going to translate these differently from French to English. So I'd say that's different. Energetic is not beauty, age, number, good, bad, or size. My friend funny, my funny friend. The French have drôle after friend. We do funny before friend. Drôle is not beauty, age, number, good, bad, or size. We're going to say it's different. Un livre difficile, a book difficult, a difficult book. Difficult is not a Bangs adjective, it is different. And finally, une bonne élève, a good student. A good student, it's the same because the word good is a Bangs adjective. So I know it goes before and it translates really nicely. I don't have to undo anything. Now, if this doesn't work for you and your brain is super fried, you don't know what I'm talking about, you can always, for this lesson, get used to the placement concept by just looking at this page and saying, okay, if it's above, it goes after the noun, the girl funny. If it's below, it goes before the noun, the pretty girl. So as a reminder, because you will be working on that in this lesson, and it's an important fundamental concept in all of French. It's where to put the adjectives, how to spell the adjectives. So that concludes the lesson, and miss you guys. Wish we were in class together. Sorry you're out there learning French on your own, but thanks for watching the videos and taking notes. It's going to make a big difference in French too. And please let me know if you're confused at all about what to do next. You should be copying down the notes and then next head to the Quizlet class for your class hour. Log in with your name and do the 3 Quizlets, 4 different ways each for this week, followed by the practice packet assignment, followed by the survey about the assignment, followed by the assessment on Schoology. So good luck. Have a great week. Au revoir.